Hey, man, Ferrari. Hey, hey, yo. Hey, Vinny.
Gallo.
Hey, give me a rollie.
Give me a rollie with goalie.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Here. Thank you, sir. Hey, give me a bag of goalie.
Are you next?
All right.
My opinion on it.
Oh, I got Beanie Babies.
What's happening here? Is there injustice? Is there Pierce?
Well, you can stream it, but if I stream it, you're going to move it
Brian the Pretty is here.
Is he begging for a drum?
You gotta play good, didn't you?
Nice move. Oh. Nice.
Something shot side by side. What
nice about it.
This is what we expect of you. Oh shit. Shoot.
Soup?
Did I say shoot?
No, you said soup.
Nice. Sweet. I can't talk about it.
Yeah, and it also, you won't be able to see it. Two images.
Take your time, Pierce.
Quiet, please.
Oh, sorry.
Thoughts.
This is usually where you muck it up.
One of those things. It's so good, Yeah, anyway, we're gonna go. There has to be like. It won't be like. YouTube version. It has a curve to it. Use the curve.
Butcher,
You can,
the baker, candlestick maker.
Butcher, the baker, the candlestick.
Don't worry, I'm gonna have to teach him Endgames one of these days when he's older.
What about when he's older?
He's not gonna be Boulder.
You go to settings.
You could go to Boulder, Colorado.
You know, in the home where you have all the boxes on the bottom.
Where should you fan?
Where you can in Oculus. You can select all the apps and stuff. Yeah. You go to settings. There's something that says reset view. Click that. And say reset view. That one. So you can fly back to that set up.
That's really bad.
It could be worse. We just don't know how.
Who's winning?
Winning.
We've seen you in worse positions, Butcher.
Just blame your girlfriend.
Oh!
She's watching and distracting you.
Is that what all men do?
Whoa! Whoa!
We all blame you, yeah.
Yeah, you're the one. Right?
Oh my God, it's Butcher's girlfriend's
Do I
fault.
have the power?
Yes, you do. You have power.
You knew you had power.
You thought you had
You
power.
don't need us to school you on power.
Oh my
You've known your
gosh!
power
Oh
since
my
you're like
gosh!
2. I know
How
about
is
the
he-
female conspiracy.
Which one?
Where is that?
Are you gonna ever learn how to do an endgame with a queen and a thing?
Quiet.
Okay, I'm just trying to help.
Queen and a thing.
You know how to do it with a thing. You don't need to know how to. What?
Friendly. Oh, just showed him this.
Looks like a draw. Still looks like a draw. Less of a draw.
Hey guys, Brian here, and let's go over the game to see what we can learn from it to improve our own chess game. So, in this position, black moved knight c5, and in the game, queen c4 was played. But if you want to go move back, pause the video, and find a better move for white, you can do so now. Alright, I think Butcher saw this, and a lot of you might have seen this as well, but it's kind of hard to calculate the combinations because the position becomes extremely sharp if you do this, and the move is knight d5. Put it on this juicy outpost in the center, and now both queens are hanging here, and it's kind of position's a little difficult to calculate, especially in blitz when you don't have time, so might have been the reason why white did not do this in the game. But let's just go over 3 variations of what might have happened. If black decides to take queen, then white takes the queen as well. Rook comes over to kick it, knight moves back, but here white has an extra tempo in the sense that his next move will fork the king and the rook, so black must spend the tempo to defend, and by wasting that tempo, white can recapture, and white is up a piece. Let's go back in this position. What happens if queen takes pawn? Then you've got knight check, fork, and king moves out, knight takes, and white recaptures, and white is up a piece. And let's go to one other variation. Let's say queen goes b8, decides to get the heck out of there. Then you've got, then you push the pawn, queen swings over, and now the queen is kind of indirectly x-raying its own pawn and wants to support it. And also in the future, you've got this pawn push here to kind of clear the way. White decides to kick, black decides to kick the white knight. The knight moves back, queen comes to take out the pawn. White defends, but black is going to kick it out again. And knight moves over, queen takes, and now you've got the pawn push. And rook's going to swing over, pawn takes, queen takes, trade off the queens, and white is up a piece. So that was that position. Let's go to the next position. In this position, black moved a6, and in the game, king f3 was played, which allowed the fork to happen, and then kind of it was just precision on black's part from here to win the game. But let's go move back here. Instead of king f3, let's go move back. Find the best move for white in this position. And I say that kind of in a weird way just because there are no good moves for white. I mean, if black plays correctly, black should win the game. Still very difficult because, you know, these are not two computers playing but two humans. One of them can make an error, but generally what's going to happen is that white's pretty much only hope here is to create a pass pawn somehow on the king side here, and black obviously has the pawn majority here, is going to try to queen here. And in the midst of white trying to create a pass pawn, black will pretty much take out all of these pawns, and then the black king, the knight, and these two pawns will march, and white will try to save it with his king and his pawn and his knight, but it's not going to be enough. And I want you two guys to notice the theme of square control, as well as how powerful this black knight is going to be in restricting the white knight. So let's just go through the moves here. So white's going to try to advance, king comes up, check, takes the pawn, but now black can take a pawn as well. And again, all of these pawns will pretty much drop in the war. So, and now from here, like I said before, the knight, the king, and these two pawns will try to support the advance of these pawns, and white will try to defend with all his might, but it's just not enough at this point. And here we kind of see the first. Notice how the knight can't move here or here. It has to spend a lot of time remaneuvering, and in that time, black can advance his pawns. Here comes the fork, pick up the last pawn, and again, notice how the king is blocking, allowing time for the pawns to advance. And notice this great wall right here. This pawn's controlling the square, king. This pawn's controlling the square, king's controlling. It's like a great wall that the white king cannot penetrate. And white will try to maneuver, try to get in, but here come the pawns. And a couple checks here. And notice this beautiful move by the black king. Alright, this knight is kind of just, it can't get in here. It's got to spend more time maneuvering, and the black king is doing a great job at kind of restricting the white knight's play. And then here comes the black knight, and it's too late. Queen, and easy win for black in this position. So what can we learn from this game? Let's quickly review what we can learn. Oh, also, I just want to point out one other thing. In your endgame, you know, instead of trying, one way to win, like which black showed us, is kind of distract the enemy king onto one side of the board while your king can kind of clean up on the other side and queen. So that's what happened in the game. So just wanted to point that out. So what can we learn from this game? Put your knights on juicy outposts in the center, and you can create tactical combinations. I mean, it's really hard to see in blitz game, especially with the position this sharp, but just something to keep in mind. And what else? In this position, yeah, just watch out for the forks. It's really hard in the end game because there's a lot of empty space and you got to calculate a lot. And but even without that fork, it would have been extremely hard for white to win this game. Notice the theme of kind of the remember I showed you earlier about the black king kind of acting as prophylaxis for the enemy knight and just kind of buying a lot of time for these pawns to roll. We saw a lot of that there, so kind of important thing to use in your own games. And also, yeah, don't forget about this king distraction strategy. Kind of distract the opponent's king on the other side of the board while you can then have time to clean up all his enemy pawns and queen your own pawns on the other side of the board. So hope you guys enjoyed the game, hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and thanks. I'll see you guys later.